how's it going, everyone? I'm the Timmeister, and welcome back to Dunswell once again. Well, actually, more specifically, we're over in Brightwood, just across the bay. And what I'm doing today is kind of a continuation of the Dunswell downtown revitalization, except in Brightwood. But first, I just have to mention that I placed the level 1 stock exchange back over in downtown Dunswell. I agree. I think the level 1 looks a bit more realistic in this sense, and you guys kind of agreed in the comment section in my last episode saying that I should downgrade back to the level 1. So that's what I did, and I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, so Brightwood has been plagued with a plethora of issues ever since it was built, more specifically in the downtown area. It was poorly planned, but that's completely my fault. I don't know, I wasn't expecting there to be the issues that are now present. But with all the money that we have in the bank, and, you know, with the whole, like, revitalization theme, I figured, what better time than to fix those issues over in Brightwood. So the first thing I'm doing is straight out of the 1960s. So I am completely destroying this neighborhood as you're seeing me do right now, and I'm just plopping an elevated section of highway right through the heart of downtown, and of course I'm completely struggling with it, but this is going to serve a purpose, and as you'll see later in this episode, it will actually serve its purpose quite well. I'm really happy with how this turns out. It looks cool, and I think it's going to function all right in the long term. So as you're seeing me place down right now, I decided to give these bus lane roads a try. There's no bus lanes going through this section of town, and there probably won't be, but I just wanted to play around with these roads just to, you know, see how they looked and stuff. And I mean, they look really cool, and I can see how, you know, they could be very useful in certain situations. So anyway, yeah, so the first part of this episode will be exactly this. I'm just going to be building this infrastructure. I'm also going to be building a new interchange where this highway will intersect with the main highway running through Dunswell, or not Dunswell, Brightwood. Now, I know City Skylines road infrastructure is only one piece of the pie. We'll eventually have to get into some public transportation at some point as well. I'd say public transportation is even more important than roads, because if you don't have any public transportation and you only have roads, you're going to be plagued with traffic issues forever. So it's important to invest in some proper infrastructure. But, you know, highways are still a great option, and this provides a great entryway into downtown Brightwood. And as you'll see in a little bit, this highway actually really helps out a lot. Okay, so I'll do a comparison. You guys already know how bad traffic is in Brightwood, especially like in that, you know, that diamond interchange just on top of this hill here. But this interchange, or this little section of highway, pretty much completely resolves that. Now, the first half of this episode is going to be in time-lapse mode. I'm just building all the required infrastructure, and then after, I'm going to get into the Dunswell Zoo. So we're going to be finishing the zoo this episode. So halfway through building this infrastructure project, I got a pop-up saying that we finally reached the level 5 zoo, and why not, you know, add the completion of that in this episode? Because it's a pretty quick thing to finish the zoo, because there's only 2 enclosures left to unlock once you reach level 5, so I mean it's pretty quick. So that will allow us to move on to bigger and greater things. The next episode, I'm not really sure what I'm going to work on. I keep saying that, you know, I needed to build into the city's infrastructure. I keep saying I have to get into the city's public transportation infrastructure, which is true. You know, I'll eventually have to get into it to improve on the system that we have altogether, and just to expand on it because the city is growing. But yeah, I don't know when we'll get into that. Sooner rather than later, preferably. And we're gonna hit 100,000 people here pretty soon too. So as we stand, we're about 85,000 people in population, and I mean, by city skyline standards, this is a pretty big city. You know, Dunswell is a growing metropolis at this point. But we still have a ton of DLC content to get through. Even just like the vanilla game, we still have a ton of areas that we need to expand in. And there's still like a big bucket list of stuff I want to get into in this city. So we're nowhere near completing Dunswell, even if it is getting into its later stages. But until then, enjoy some tunes and a nice time lapse of me struggling to build this interchange. Alright, well, while I was working on this highway interchange over here, I got a notification that our zoo is now a level 5. So, before we go any further, I think I'm just going to finish up the zoo, because there's not a whole lot left to do. Because if I check here into my zoo menu, we only had 2 buildings to unlock, which are a rhino enclosure and a lion enclosure. So, why don't we go ahead and do that right away? So let's start with the line enclosure. I don't know, where are we gonna place this? I'm just gonna plop it down here, see what it looks like. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so there's actually a path going through it, and then the lines have like a little tunnel or a bridge that they can go over the path. And I think this might be a suitable location right here. So, hang on, let me just move this. I'll just chuck it over here for now. I'll delete these road segments. And then I'll move this. So, like, here, I guess. Okay. And then connect our paths up. Like I'll probably need to make a few adjustments. There we are. A few minor adjustments. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and grab the monkey enclosure before all the monkeys escape, and then place it right here, which fits perfectly. Look at that. Uh-oh. Okay, the monkeys are safe. Oh crap, we have a gorilla on the loose. That is not good. Look at that. Monkeys on the loose everywhere. This is not good, guys. This is terrible. Anyway, look at our lions over here. Look at that. Woo. I wonder... Oh yeah, they actually do use the tunnel. Ha! That's actually pretty cool. We have our buffaloes over here. What else? I think these are antelopes. Yeah. Birds. Right on. Okay. Now the last enclosure that we have is the rhino enclosure. And I think I have a perfect spot for it right here. Boop. Give it a second and our rhinos should appear. Oh, there we go. There they are. Look at that. All right. So now what I want to do. So this is a problem. Okay. So like, just look at this traffic here. Now, in order to fix that problem, I'm going to offload some of that traffic over here. So I'm going to create a secondary entrance, which will handle some of that traffic. That's the idea anyway. So I'm just gonna grab a road, bring it up, and I'll level that off afterwards. So if I go here and then go, I'm just gonna extend a little path this way, and I'm going to level this out. Here, let's make it look natural, sort of, and then smooth it out so it just looks like it's part of the hill. Okay, and then what do we have? Small zoo main gate, zoo side gate. We want a side gate, which needs to be roadside. So I'm gonna make this perpendicular to the path, just so everything's nice and straight. And then I'll go ahead and place down the side gate. There we go. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Kind of sucks that it doesn't line up perfectly, but that's okay. Doesn't bother me too much. And the reason why I did that is I feel like this road is kind of like the main street of the southern part of the zoo, just because like we have our cafes and everything over here. And there we have it. Let's see. Okay, so that is pretty much it as far as the zoo goes. We have all of our enclosures. The only thing left to do is, I guess, to detail the zoo. But first, let me connect this up. Oops. There. But there's one more thing that I want to do. I want to go into my parks, and I want to place down a botanical garden as part of the zoo, because I feel like this building aesthetically really fits in with the rest of the zoo. And I think I have a perfect place for it. Actually, I'm just getting an idea. There. So the botanical garden is somewhat part... Actually, no, I think I can integrate it much better than that. Hang on. I'm trying to think here what I can do. Here's what I'm going to do. So if I do that, then I can place, I can move the rhino enclosure over here. And then this will continue straight and then eventually turn off and then follow the lake. And then the botanical garden will come over here. There, and I'll just kind of pretend hook that up like that. There, and there we go, guys. Everything is plopped down as far as the zoo goes. Look at that. Now let's just check over how our zoo is doing. I mean, we're not really... Our expenses are way more than our income. But that'll come with the number of visitors. Maybe we can raise the ticket price. Let's raise it to like 25. There. Now, as far as traffic, I think we'll just have to give this a little bit of time. I don't know if this will even make a difference. I mean, there seems to be a whole lot of traffic coming through here. And the traffic naturally will come through here naturally, like this basically is the, well, not really, one of the only entrances into the park. So most vehicles are going to be coming through here, but some of them are going straight. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to spend a little bit of time detailing the park before ending this episode. I want to place down some of the CCP trees, you know, just to beautify the park a little bit more and make it look more realistic. And then I'm going to be adding some props and things here and there. So after a few minutes of detailing, this was the result. So like I said, I just added a whole bunch of trees and some small little details here and there. I really like these content creator pack trees. Even though a lot of these vanilla buildings have vanilla trees which can't be removed, I find surrounding them with content creator pack trees kind of blends everything in really nicely, and it really helps get that extra realism. So you can see here there's some cherry blossom trees in there. It kind of just makes things look a little more nice, a little more realistic. I don't know, I just really like doing that. So guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, drop a comment down below, and until the next episode, please take care.